This is a story called Anansi and the Moss-Covered Rock, retold by Eric A. Kimmel, illustrated by Janet Stevens. This is about a very sneaky spider, Anansi and the Moss-Covered Rock. Once upon a time, Anansi the spider was walking through the forest when something caught his eye. It was a strange, moss-covered rock. "How interesting," Anansi said. "Isn't this a strange, moss-covered rock?" Kaboom! Everything went black. Down fell Anansi, senseless. An hour later, Anansi woke up. His head was spinning. He wondered what had happened. "I was walking along the path when something caught my eye, and I stopped and I said, 'Isn't this a strange moss-covered rock?' Kaboom! Down went Anansi again. But this time, when he woke up an hour later, he knew what was happening. 'Aha!' said Anansi. 'This is a magic rock. And whenever anyone comes along and says the magic words, "Isn't this a strange down he goes.' This is a good thing to know," said Anansi, "and I know just how to use it." Oh, that Anansi. So Anansi went walking through the forest until he came to Lion's house. Lion was sitting on his porch. At his feet was a great pile of yams. Anansi loved yams. He was too lazy to dig them up himself. Anansi said to Lion, "Hello, Lion. It is a very hot day. Don't you think so?" "Yes, Anansi," said Lion. "It's terribly hot." "I am going for a walk in the cool forest," said Anansi. "Would you like to come?" "I certainly would." So Lion and Anansi went walking in the forest. After a while, Anansi led Lion to a certain place. "Lion, what do you see? Do you see what I see?" Oh yes, Anansi. Isn't that a strange moss-covered rock?" Kaboom! Down fell Lion. Anansi ran back to Lion's house and made off with Lion's yams. Poor Lion. An hour later, Lion woke up. His head was spinning. Anansi was nowhere in sight. And when he got home, he found that every single one of his yams was gone. Lion was very sad. Poor Lion. But Anansi was very happy. He couldn't wait to play his trick again. Once more, Anansi went walking in the forest. This time he stopped at Elephant's house. Elephant was sitting on his porch. At Elephant's feet was a big pile of bananas. Anansi loved bananas. He was too lazy to pick them himself. So he said to Elephant, "Hello, Elephant. Isn't it hot today?" "It is," Elephant agreed. "I'm going for a walk in the cool forest," Anansi said. "Would you like to come?" "That sounds nice," said Elephant. "Thank you for asking me and inviting me." So Anansi and Elephant went walking through the forest. After a while, Anansi led Elephant to a certain place. "Elephant, look, do you see what I see?" Elephant looked. "Yes, I do, Anansi. Isn't this a strange moss-covered rock?" Kaboom! Down fell Elephant. Anansi ran back to Elephant's house and made off with the bananas. An hour later, Elephant woke up. His head was spinning. Anansi was nowhere in sight. And when he got home, he found that every single one of his bananas was gone. Elephant was very sad. But Anansi was very happy. He couldn't wait to play his trick again. He played it on rhinoceros and hippopotamus. He played it on giraffe and zebra. He played it on every single animal in the forest. But all this time, watching from behind the leaves, was little bush deer. Little bush deer was small and shy and very hard to see. Can you see her here? She watched Anansi play this wicked trick again and again on all the other animals. Little bush deer decided it was time for Anansi to learn a lesson. So little bush deer went deep into the forest to where the coconut trees grew. She climbed a coconut tree and threw down a great many coconuts. She carried the coconuts home in a basket and set them on her porch. And then she sat beside them to wait. You know who's going to come, right? In a little while, along came Anansi. Anansi's eyes lit up when he saw little bush deer's coconuts. Anansi loved coconuts. He loved to eat the sweet, tender coconut meat and to drink the coconut milk inside. But he was much too lazy to gather the coconuts himself. Instead, he said, "Hello, little bush deer. It's so hot today." Little bush deer smiled. It is very hot, Anansi. I'm going for a walk in the cool forest. Would you like to come? Yes, I would, said little bush deer. So Anansi and little bush deer went walking in the cool forest. After a while, Anansi led little bush deer to a certain place. Little bush deer, look over there. Do you see what I see? Little bush deer knew all about Anansi's trick, and she looked. No, Anansi, I don't see anything. You must see it. Look very carefully. Little bush deer looked. No, I'm still not seeing anything, she said. Ooh, Anansi started to get very angry. You must see it. Look over here. Look right here. I'm pointing. Do you see it now? No, Anansi. Anansi stamped his legs. You see it. You just don't want to say it. Say what? Said little bush deer. You know. Is that what you want me to say? Yes, said Anansi. All right, then I will say it to make you happy. You know, said little bush deer. There, I said it. Are you satisfied? No! Anansi shouted. You're not supposed to say you know. What am I supposed to say? You're supposed to say, isn't this a strange moss-covered rock? Kapoom! Down went Anansi. Little bush deer ran and got all the other animals together. They went to Anansi's house and they took back all the good things that he had stolen from them. An hour later, Anansi woke up. His head was spinning. Little bush deer was nowhere in sight. And when he got home, he found his house as empty as it was before. But if you think Anansi learned his lesson, you're mistaken, because he's still playing tricks to this very day. And that is the end. Bum ba da bum 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 bum. Front cover, spine, back cover, and all the pages. I hope you enjoyed that story. See you later. Bye.